So good day and welcome to my YouTube channel where we're exploring captivating topics. And today I have the privilege of having a phenomenal young woman, Lerato, with me. And we are going to join her on her journey of discovery of how her temperament temperament is influencing her as an influencer and on three topics that she's feeling very passionately about. And the three topics we are going to unpack a little bit today is, first of all, the environmental health. And then we're going to jump on to looking at women in sport. And then, of course, the last topic that we are going to tackle is feminism. So we're looking forward to the session. So, Lerato, just give me a thumbs up. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Really, thank you. But before we dive into today's Hafenscher thoughts of Claudina, I would quickly like to introduce myself and just give a short overview about the temperaments. So my name is Claudina Hafenscher, and I'm known for my brand, Hafenscher. And I live out this brand every day through training, motivation, and facilitation, and adding on coaching and mentoring. The Hafenscher brand is all about that I believe that you have a need and I can share in your solution. I have a personal mantra I live by every day, and that is I believe that the power to heal myself is in my own hands. When I refer to heal, I talk about the decision I have every moment to make a choice. Am I going to tackle it with 100% positive attitude, or am I going to tackle the next moment with 100% negative attitude? That is the healing part that I believe in. So today's topic is going to be as follows: the discovering of Lerato, or Leo, as some of you know her by. And we are going to dive into her temperament. But before we do it, let me unpack this 4 model temperament that I rant and rave about. It's the most simplified form of a personality test or temperament test that you will find. A lot of the other temperament tests have been built from this cornerstone. And why I love this model is because it's so simple that people can grasp it and understand it and immediately implement it. They don't need to study it and get a degree in it. It's immediately applicable, and you see what I mean today when we speak of Lerato. So if I can start, what exactly is a temperament? Temperaments are that wiring that your creator intended you to be. So if I can just make it simplified, let's connect it to a house. The temperament is the foundation part of your house. It is stable, it can never change. Your foundation is your foundation. And that is the temperament. It is heritaged, and naturally, that is the way you feel comfortable handling your life. And then on top of the temperaments comes the next part, and that is what I call the character. Now, character gets formed. That's now the bricks, and that is the roof and the windows of your house. And part of character is everything you see, you hear, you feel, you taste, all of your senses. Everything you take in with your senses is part of this character building and character forming. And also part of this is your whole environment. All your value systems, all your belief systems, all your friends, all your peers, everything, your schooling, everything that's happening with you in life is all part of forming your character. And then we get to the third part, which is the persona or the personality. That is now the part of the house which is the paint and the beautifying. This is the part that we use to act in a specific way in a situation. It's almost like a mask. You're masking a certain persona in a situation. It's not a bad thing. It's not a fake mask as people refer to, but this is the mask that you need to have a situation and you deal with the situation effectively. For instance, my life, if I'm a facilitator, I have the masking persona of a facilitator and I act accordingly. But remember, that persona of the facilitator is fed by my character and my foundation, my temperament. When I'm a mother, I'm definitely not a facilitator. Then I have the persona of being a mother to my children. And that is a total different persona. So that is how the three fits in. But today our focus is going to be on the temperament part, the foundation of this house. Now, let's see. Maybe you can relate quickly. I've broken it down to quickly give you the 4 temperaments, and let's see if you can relate. Let's first look at our extroverts. The very first one that we know is the yellow temperament, is also known as the sanguine. That's a very fun, this is the word that we use for this type of temperament. So this temperament believes in life, everything's about fun. Let's do it in a fun way. Where's the fun? That is your main thing that you're looking for. The second temperament we're going to look at is the choleric. Now, maybe you can identify, this type of choleric, it's all about their way. My way or no way. And I want to do this. I'm very motivated. They're very driven. So these 2 types of temperaments are expressive and they are not scared to go and confront a conflict and tackle the bull by the horns. But let's look at the introvert type of temperaments. The first one we look at is the green one, and the motto is, oh man, let's do it the easy way. No, if they don't want to stand, if they can sit, and they're definitely not going to sit if they can lie. They're a very easygoing bunch, and that is their motto in life. And then, of course, the last temperament that we look at is your blue type of temperament, also known as the melancholic temperament. And they are all about, listen, this is the correct way of doing things. So just sit for a second and just think, who do you relate with? Are you like the sanguine yellow one? That's all about fun. Do you think you are more a choleric? That is my way and no other way. Or are you more the phlegmatic green type of temperament? Let's go easy on this. Why rush? Or are you that one that is definitely, this is the correct way and we're not going to deviate? Now, before I carry on, I just want to mention, when we look at the temperaments, we know that all 4 of these temperament types are in you, but in different amounts. And our focus is going to be on the major number 1 and then a number 2, a secondary one. So we're going to put all our focus just on those 2. So, with no further ado, let me introduce you to our guest, Lerato. And before I am going to ask Lerato to give me a bit of background of her, I just want to say how the 2 of us met and what it made her to be my guest today. We've met through a mutual guest that was, we've met through a mutual friend, can I say it, that was a guest on one of my previous sessions. And she introduced me to Lerato. And I asked Lerato then to fill in a temperament quiz for me to find out how her temperaments look. And today she's going to discover with you what this means for her in her life regarding these wonderful topics that we are going to discuss. Lerato have the following things she's living by. Her mantra is that if you don't like something, change it. Well, and if you can't change that, there's only one solution, change your attitude. And she got this from Maya Angelou, also one of my favorite mentors in my life. So, Lerato, I'm going to give you the opportunity now to introduce yourself. So, Lerato, with you now. So what I would like you to do is I would like you to give us an introduction of you and just give us a little bit of that inside scoop of who Lerato is before we talk about your topics and my findings about your temperaments.
All right. Thank you, Claudina, for that. So just a brief introduction of who I am. My name is Lerato, like Claudina said, and I am many things. And one of those things is I'm a sports person. I'm currently playing basketball, and I'm a recent graduate at TUT. And what else? Oh, I am currently working as a project administrator for a global organization that has a local hub here. And I'm also a volunteer for an NPO working to basically promote literacy in primary schools and townships. So that's just, in a nutshell, what I'm all about.
Well, excuse me, Lerato. This is not small at all. Studying, working, and do community work. No. I'm talking to a star here. Yeah, that is quite a diverse life that you lead here. Do you find enough time for all of this?
I make time. I try to make time.
But they always say that if you want to get something done, give it to the busy people. That is, isn't it that true? And I suggest if I give you another task, you will definitely find somehow space for that too. Am I right?
I can. I'll try my best.
Okay. I'm just going to quickly share the screen again because I would like to just show you what the two temperaments are that Lerato actually come up, or what I found with asking a test. So can you see that on Lerato's picture, we have the blue temperament, which is her primary temperament, and then she's got the yellow temperament, that is the secondary. But they are so closely together. There's 1 point difference between the two of them. So that is quite an amazing one. But can you also now see, if I take you back to the one that I just discussed, she's got on the one side this introvert temperament, and on the other side, the extrovert. And you'll see when I discuss her notes that I've made for her, how difficult it can be for her to keep balance between these two worlds, because it's totally the opposite. I even have placed it in such a way, she's got literally the opposite in everything for it. Okay, if we stop the share. So, Lerato, I'm going to put my glasses on. I have made a couple of notes that I would like to share. Okay. Let us first unpack the typical traits of your temperament. And remember now, I'm going to talk about your primary temperament and the secondary. So your primary one is the blue, the melancholic one, and the yellow, which is the sanguine. So I'm just going to highlight one or two of the notes I've made for you. And then we're going to ask the question if this is something that you can relate with based on your based on what information I give you. First of all, your blue melancholic type of temperament is focused on introspection. You are quite sensitive to feel and also sensitive towards other people's feeling. You can pick up quickly if something is wrong, and you've got the tendency to be a bit of perfectionistic. So that's just a highlight. Then sanguine, the sanguine part, that yellow one, that on the other side makes you sociable, enthusiastic, and very optimistic. So I'm going to discuss a couple of traits that you have regarding that we associate this with. Let's look at the first one. Regarding how you do reflection and introspection. That's a very huge one, and because it is 1 point more, you will tend to need that time a bit more than just go out. So let us look. So you will find yourself analyzing situations really deeply. You won't just jump into something, you will analyze it, and you are very keen on self-reflection and self-improvement, and you have quite a great awareness of your own emotions. So that is something you have. But part of it is that you can have a tendency to overthink things and be too critical on yourself. when we look at your emotional sensitivity part that you have, you really have quite a bit of emotional depth. So although you like socializing, you will find relationships that's having a bit of a deeper connection emotionally, much more valuable than just the airy fairy and we are nice friends together.
Yeah.
So, and you also will find that you can be empathizing with people and that you are extremely intuitive. You will find that 98% of the time when your gut feeling is feeling something and you're really attending on it, it's true. So your gut feeling is going to be your biggest friend in life. Let's just touch a little bit on the yellow side, which is very close to your blue side, that we call the sanguine. This type is all about socially. You will actually find it very easy to be sociable and be enthusiastic, and you can find it easy to connect with people and other people. So you are great to invite to a party because you will be able to get the party feeling comfortable and avoid these awkward moments we get, because you will be very easy to engage in conversations. And with that said, you also will be keen on forming new relationships. That's very important for you. So you are really an optimist, you are an idealist sometimes, and people with this combination may have a very positive outlook on life. And I think when we are going to talk about the environmental education part, you'll see why you will have a positive optimism that you can share with the world, not all the doom and gloom, but that's part of your temperament. And then, of course, I just want to touch, you are on the perfectionistic side, you've got very high expectations of yourself. You put very high standards on yourself. And if I can just touch for a moment before I ask you to respond to this, just a bit of caution that I would like you to just look at. This is just caution for this type of temperament. You may take criticism quite personally. And because you think so deep about things, and that because of this very intense emotion of your melancholic side, that you will draw things personally, which is not personally intended. And especially with some of the topics that you are feeling passionate about, you can actually get into situations where you will be criticized. But don't overthink this and don't be too hard on yourself when it comes to that. Okay? So, and like I said, remember, you are somebody that definitely may spend a significant amount of time with your own feelings and your own thoughts and actions. And always make sure that even if you are living out this yellow side, that you will make time for yourself. Otherwise, you are going to spin out of balance. So let us hear from you quickly, Lerato. Can you resonate with this?
You've basically highlighted who I am. And so many of what you have said, so many of the points you've made, they make so much sense now that I think of it. I don't know if you've realized, but when you kept on talking, I kept on smiling because I was basically making mental ticks in my head. The overthinking part, for example, that is literally who I am. That's what I do for a long time, for a lot of time, because I spend time alone. So it was also interesting to get the contrast between the blue and the yellow. It just, yeah, it's fascinating, so to say.
Fascinating. Yes, and now that, and I think what we find a lot just by getting this knowledge, it's like almost there's a weight off your shoulders because you are actually truly living who you are. Yes, let me show this at this stage. You saw these 4 colors. There's possibly with a bit of coaching and in self-improvement, you can pick up some tools to assist you to also tap into that choleric side and that green side a bit more, especially in the audiences you have. At this stage, you will resonate nice with audiences that is exactly of the same colors as you are. But I think going forward, I think part of your passion on the topics that we're going to unpack now is that you would like to have the ears of people that is choleric, that is very strong in the leadership styles, as well as people that's very involved in the feeling side, that takes it easy, because those two type of temperaments is also crucial for you to become an all-rounder. But I promised you that I'm going to do a coaching session with you, and we will tap into the other temperaments as well, that you can have learned behavior and get tools to even resonate with those people more. Okay, so let us jump onto the very, very first topic. And here I'm just also going to refer to my notes. And this topic is going to be about the environmental education where you feel so strongly. So I think just unpack for me, what is environmental education? What exactly is that in your vocabulary?
So environmental education is basically making people aware of their surroundings, specifically their natural surroundings. It's making people informed about topics like climate change, that they're not just phenomena in a textbook or something. It's something that really happens in real life. So I'm passionate about that because people need to know about their surroundings.
So what sparked your passion for this?
It goes back to when I was a child in primary school. There was a day where we got books. It was actually animal books. So I wanted to venture into being a vet. But then we went deep into just outside of animals, just nature in general. And then that sparked an interest. I was blown away, literally. And from that day on, I never looked back. I've always wanted to know more about our natural environment. And then now I learn about the negative or harmful impacts of just not taking care of our natural environment. So yeah.
Well, that's phenomenal. And would you like more people to be aware of that? What is your long-term vision with this?
Absolutely. I would love young people, especially young people in marginalized communities or townships, rural areas, to be more involved in these careers or in this space, the environmental education space, the awareness of it, because there's a whole world that they can learn from, a lot of things they can learn from. And also entrepreneurship within that space. So yeah, there's a lot of things they can learn from it. Absolutely.
Well, that is a fantastic vision, and I think it is very, very important, because you're the generation that is going to take this earth to a further in extending the lifespan of this earth. Yes, so I'm actually thinking it's quite a controversial topic that needs a lot of discussion still under the young, especially. So what I've done for you, I have looked at your temperament, the combination of your blue-yellow, and typically going to summarize how I think, based on your temperament, how you are tackling this. And then let us see how close you are to your inborn abilities. So that blue part of you, the melancholic part of you, is actually very thoughtful. You are very detail-orientated and sensitive, as we said. So you may approach these type of issues by delving into underlying causes. You would do a lot of research on the potential solutions that's there. You will advocate for them to do long-term suggestions or changes, as you just said. And then your big focus would be to create education and awareness campaigns where you will engaging environmental research and promoting sustainable lifestyle through personal example. So that is the blue side. Let's look at what your yellow side is going to give you and add to this. Remember now, this is your enthusiastic, outgoing, sociable side. So you will tackle this topic with a positive and energetic attitude, and you will aim to aspire and inspire and engage other people. And part of what you would like is to organize community events. You will like to promote ego-friendly practices in a very fun and engaging manner. And you will use social influence, yeah, to raise awareness and support of these type of causes. So tell me, how did I sum you up there? Is that the way you tackle this topic?
Basically, you've outlined everything.
Outline
Everything.
everything. Yeah. So let me just share with you for a moment, just as a bit of interest. If you could manage to tap into that red and the green temperament, let me just give you a little bit of a secret. If you could get your reds to be on your side, you know what they will mean for you in this topic. If you can get them and you can speak into their temperament, they will tackle this with you by becoming leaders. And they will take your ideas and lead it, and they will go in leading environmental initiatives. And they will create an even bigger awareness, and they will be the people that actually can give you that strategic planning of how to go about it. Where your greens also something is, if you want to get the buy-in, or you can get the audiences with a bit more green temperaments, they are typically going to be the ones who is going to promote collaboration for you, that everything comes together. So can you see the importance of getting those two temperaments also touch it? Because they are the ones who are actually going to make it action your ideas and put it into action, but still focus on getting the buy-in with the greens to do it and handle it. So that was just a bit of a tidbit for you to give you advice there. Okay, let's go to the second topic, and that is one I know it's very close to you, and you actually said one of the sports that you're taking part in is basketball, so I will highlight a little bit of how you possibly managing your basketball. So let us jump to the topic, women in sports. Typically, again, your temperament, let's start with the blue. You will be drawn by sports that focuses or emphasize precision, technique, and somehow individual performance. You like to individual perform, and it will require you to be very focused, disciplined, and you will give attention to detail and rules and regulations. That can also be the type of sports that you do. So if we relate this to your basketball, typically if you play basketball, the position that you will find the most enjoyable will be either the shooting or the defending. So which one are you?
I'm definitely a defensive player.
See? And there the sanguine comes in, the extrovert of the sanguine, because now you are defending, you like to defend for your wickets there. So that's the blue. Let's look at how your yellow part, the sanguine part, is influencing your sports life. You actually will find sports that actually there must be a team. You do like the socializing, and very energetic will appeal to you. So sports like basketball or fitness classes or softball or dancing or any of those would be sports that you are interested in. But let us look at how you manage yourself now on this basketball or the basket field. You will foster a team spirit and camaraderie, and you will create a very positive atmosphere between the players. And you are really the live wire, possibly in the team, to communicate through and have the energy and say, come, team, let's do it. But also have the part of knowing the detail. So is that the way you manage your game on the basketball field?
Yes, I say yes because especially the teamwork part, the hyping up the team. That's what I do. I think if my teammates were there, because now I practice with boys, a group of boys. So I think if they were here, they would attest to what I'm saying. That I'm all about hyping. I'm all about bringing the team together. So yeah, definitely.
Definitely, as well as you know the rules and you know the disciplines and you made it your business to understand all the detail. Yes, so that is fantastic. Okay, let us go to the last topic. And it's actually, before we go there, it can be a very difficult topic to bring over because people can so easily take this topic about feminism and pull it totally out of context. Am I right on that?
Yes, absolutely. Oh my
Talk to
gosh.
me about this. Why is this of interest and why would you actually put yourself out there to be pulled apart? Let me say this. It's a very controversial topic, this.
It is. It's controversial because it has so many different definitions that people are taking. I think people also haven't really focused on the actual definition or what it really strives to do. People are so obsessed with the fact that women do this, women do that, this is against men. And it's really not about that. It's just about including everyone, inclusivity. And yeah, I think it's controversial like that. And me exposing myself to that title or that movement sort of, it can be a conflict, or conflicts can sometimes arise because of the lack of understanding. So yeah, it's a sensitive topic, and like you said previously, I tend to be sensitive.
Listen, that's why I'm so amazed that you took on the topic. What is your aim? What would you like to accomplish with this topic before I'm going to link this to your type of personality or temperament?
um well, firstly, I would like people to know what exactly it's all about, what it stands for, and just because it just people knowing about who I am and the link between the two. It also has to do with my previous experiences from a child to now growing up as a young adult. It's just something that people need to be aware of and educate themselves about, not just listening to one aspect of it, just looking at a broader definition of the word and what it does.
Well, I salute you for this. So let me, I suppose you would like to know how your temperament, that what we just discussed, complement or assist you really to address it. Because first of all, you would think because you the blue and it must be you're an introvert, you will not do it. But luckily for you, because your yellow temperament is so close to your blue temperament, you can pull this off. And what's so wonderful of handling this controversial issue is that you can have the seriousness and the facts on the one side, but then you also have the ability to bring it over in a fun way. So you're between the I must do it correctly, and you have your facts on your fingers to take away the myth that is there around this topic of feminism. And then you have this wonderful yellow side that can actually bring it over in such a fun way that you can actually get the buy-in with people. You don't get too serious like the cholerics, because your cholerics is going to pull you apart. And that is normally where they are the ones that wants to say, no, it's my way and it's not the right way. And where are you? Okay, and your greenies will sit and say, I don't know if I really want to get involved in this, but you've got the idle temperament, and let me tell you why. So first of all, regarding feminism and your melancholic or your blue-yellow temperament, you have a unique perspectives and reactions towards this topic. And let's just unpack the first one regarding the analytical approach that you will get from your blue side. So your blue side of your temperament is the one who will analyze feminist concepts, theories, and arguments in depth. You really will go and analyze this, and they may engage you in doing critical thinking, because remember, you are really thinking deep about things. You will also then do quite a bit of research and examining the historical issues. You will also research social, cultural, and philosophical aspects of feminism. So that is what you will do on the blue side. That's why it's so ideal that you can have this controversy, so you will know what it's all about. When it comes to the empathy and the understanding part of this topic, luckily for you, your sanguine yellow part, they will bring in the empathy towards this topic. So you will not be like a staunch, this is the way and it's the only way. You can bring it over in a very empathetic way, and it may result that can relate, you can even relate it to experiences and challenges that you faced and other women possibly have faced in this gender issues that we have. And you will also be able to show support for feminist goals and achieving gender equality. You just said you are playing on a field with a lot of boys. It is actually quite amazing that you are doing that and stand your ground. So you definitely are an example of this. Let's look at how you balance this, or how do you balance your perspectives of these two temperaments. So because remember, you are a very diverse type of combination of temperaments. You've got this very different way. So you are in a position, and that is what your strength is, because of your diverse range of your perspectives within feminism itself. And you will appreciate the complex issues between this issues related to gender. So you also might encourage individuals to seek common ground. They ask common ground. You will actually also be in a position to bridge gaps of this topic and promote dialogue amongst different groups of different opinions. So that's in your power to do that. So you are very optimistic, and this is part of your yellow, and that says that you will be able to take action and you are willing to participate in feminist movements and advocate for change. You definitely will do that. And because of your sociable nature, you will be able to collaborate with others, you will be able to build networks and promote feminist values throughout community engagement. And then lastly, regarding your personal growth and self-direction with this topic, this type of temperament, especially your melancholic side, which is your major one, will drive individuals to reflect on their own beliefs, biases, and behaviors related to this gender. So you will challenge their beliefs. Okay, so how do you think about that? Is this the way that you are approaching this, or did I give you any advice on this, how you can approach it more effectively? Give me just a bit of feedback before we end our discussions.
It's actually a bit of both. You gave me advice on how to approach it. I never thought of that actually until now. And another part is looking at the example of what I've come across with different personalities, and just me and what I believe in, as well as now the example of me playing basketball with the boys. I can sort of resonate with what you have just outlined right now, and that's why I'm saying it's also something new that I'm learning now. Like now, all of a sudden, things make sense because you've just outlined it. I never really thought of it like that.
Yeah, so that hopefully it can help you a little bit more to address this issue in a much more effective way. And I think that's why I gave you this information, which is a brief set of information to assist you in carrying on. Now, as you can see that with this temperaments, knowing the temperaments is very valuable for you. I just tackled 3 topics. But if you want to approach relationship, or if you want to have career advice, it doesn't matter what topic or what phase you are. When it comes to knowing this true temperaments, a lot can be revealed to assist you. It's not cast in stone, it's not to label you, it's just a different perspective of finding what is really inside of you. Sometimes we're very confused. But I just want to end this off and just make sure that everybody understands this, that it is essential to remember that as an individual, we have different perspectives and attitudes. And it can vary from one person to the other person. And the same temperament combinations are not even going to react the same to situations. Remember, your factors like your personal experiences, your cultural context, your individual values all make you unique. So I cannot just say because you're this type of temperament, you will feel like that. Based on what you discussed with me, based about our interview we had together, I could give you this advice. So I think before I want to end the session, I would like to ask you, give me maybe one or two of the last thoughts you have or aha moments that you would like to share with this audience that is going to listen to this YouTube channel. Let me hear what is on your heart that you think you can share with us.
Firstly, I didn't really know anything about temperament. I just always thought maybe temperament has to do with you are emotional, you just all over the place in terms of your emotions. But after the session, I think it's safe to say it was enlightening for me, actually liberating, because now I understand the importance of getting to know oneself, even at a deeper level, like your temperament. And it's also allowed me to embrace personal growth. Just from this session alone, I now know where to go, now know or the type of traits I have, how to evaluate them according to the people I meet, the environment I'm in, the situation at hand. So it has really been eye-opening. Like you said before, I feel like some weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
Yes. But thank you, Lerato, for your feedback, and thank you for being the guest on my channel for today. And hopefully we are going to meet again, and we are going to unpack quite a bit of things, and all the best for you. I believe that you are a go-getter, and I can't wait to see what aspire in the next couple of years. And please enjoy your youth while you are so young. And because this is a youth month, I just want to say you as youth have definitely a lot of power that's hidden in you. So thank you for that, Lerato. So I hope that you have found our exploration of the temperaments enlightening and thought-provoking again today. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe to my channel to get more captivating content. And remember, knowledge is power, and especially applied knowledge is very, very powerful. So keep on seeking, keep on learning, and keep growing. So until next time, stay curious and stay awesome.